Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you the best vocal sample library for your beats and your loops. And before you ask, hold on. Of course, I do have a free version that you could try. This video is different than the rest of all of my videos on my channel. So if you stick to the end, it'll help YouTube not get mad at me. And I'm not gonna lie, bro, I'd really appreciate if you could stick to the end of the video to help it out, but you don't really have to, you know what I'm saying? I just gotta ask you to, but do whatever you want. Get that free version to try it out. And then if you do like it, hopefully you end up getting the kit. There is over 300 unique royalty-free vocals. I completely forgot to mention that. I should have put that in the intro. Bro, these vocals are 100% royalty free. But regardless, this is the second vocal kit that is dropped, and this one is next level. So let's get into hearing it. All right, so let's go over here to the Late Nights vocal sample pack. You'll see that we have 5 different folders of vocals over here, always giving you different keys of vocals. So let's go ahead and expand these one by one to quickly go over these, and then we'll hear some of them. A major folder right here. We had ad-libs, long phrases, long repeating phrases, short phrases, and short repeating phrases. And then there's 2 folders in here, the dry versions of the vocals, and then one with some reverb and some EQ. So there's 300 unique vocals, but doubled to 600 because they were also exported with reverbs and EQs. So let's just hear some of the dry versions. These are going to be our ad-libs.
Baby, oh no, oh no.
Right, so a little bit more simple ad-libs that you can kind of just drag and drop and not be a full phrase. Then we get into the actual phrases. So these are our long phrases. We'll go with some dry versions of these as well.
Would've given you diamond ring. You know that I never give up on you. I just want you close, babe.
These are going to be long phrases, but have a repeating feel to them. So let's try this out.
Just for a moment, just for a moment, show me emotions, show me emotions.
And then we have short phrases, just more phrases, a little bit shorter. And then the short repeating phrases, same thing, a little bit more repeating words, repeating vibe to it, and they're a little bit shorter. So there's also a cheat sheet included. So if your beat is in a major scale, but maybe the vocal is listed in the E minor folder, right? You can look over, find the relative major to E minor, and then pitch the vocal or your beat according.
Bottling up all of the pain. Don't think I'll ever be the same. Friends, lovers to enemies. Guess that we were meant to be.
These don't even have any processing on them.
Just a memory. Now you're just a memory.
So there's a BPM here, but these were exported perfectly to like 2, 4, 8, or 16 bar phrases. So they'll time stretch perfectly when you drop them in. So what's cool about that is that it's going to sync up. And even if we change our BPM over here, this is going to stay where it's locked in. We could drop in another one here. You'll see this one drops in at 2 bars, and you can stretch these if you needed to go to 4, right? If you want this to be a little bit faster or slower, we can go out to 8 bars, or it could bring it to 2. They're just exported perfectly to be able to drop in. Let's go to like another random folder. We can go up here and grab this one right here and drag it in, and you see, boom, it snaps to 4 bars here. So that's cool because it'll lock in and you don't have to worry about necessarily getting them perfectly on time. You just adjust how fast or slow you want the vocal to be. Last thing we got to do is hear it in context with a beat. And I'm also going to show you one of my favorite go-to effects chains for these vocals right now. All right, so let's hear it in context. The beat is in A minor, and the relative major of A minor, let's look at the cheat sheet right there. We see that it's C major. So the vocals I chose for this are actually in D sharp major. So what we need to do is go down by 3 semitones. D sharp's here, down 1 semitone is D, down 1 more semitone is C sharp, down 1 more semitone is C. So by bringing this down 1, 2, 3 semitones there, we went from D sharp major to C major for this. C major is the relative major scale of A minor, right? It's going to fit with the rest of this that's in A minor. So let's hear it. I have some processing on here. I'll show you what it is after, and then we'll hear it dry as well. Let's play it.
Feelings even harder.
Let's turn off the processing. Then as promised, I'll show you everything that's on the processing.
Over before we started, when it left me broken hearted. I hate when it's dark, it makes these feelings even harder.
Right? So this is some of my favorite processing, and I'll show you so you can use it as well. So Little Altar Boy, I brought the format down. If you want a free version to that, which I actually enjoy a lot more as far as format pitching, is Melda M Auto Pitch, because for whatever reason, this one sounds really good. Watch, I'll show you real quick. If we take off Little Altar Boy, it just, for being free, it just sounds so good. So a lot of these format shifting plugins kind of sometimes get robotic. This one's just clean. It sounds really nice.
Before we started, when it left me broken hearted. I hate when it's dark, it makes these feelings even harder.
Okay, so one of those, you can get the free one, or if you have Little Altar Boy, use that. And then there's a little bit of a small room with Valhalla. You can use any reverb, just create a small room, and then an EQ curve like that, and you get a really nice vocal. So with that being said, let's drop some more in. So over here, these ones are from the short phrases section, but let's go to maybe the long phrases here.
I hate when it's dark, it makes these feelings even. Life is moving fast, I'm stuck in the past. How will it last?
You have so many different options. And again, the long phrases can be chopped up into so many different things. And if you want something a little bit more simple, you just go over here to the ad libs section of these. Let's go here, ad libs, and you have very simple ones right here.
Ooh, oh, ooh, oh, oh, ah.
And those sound really good with effects too, because then you don't necessarily have words, you just have some accent vocals. So as I mentioned, this vocal kit is stacked with 300 unique vocals and a grand total of about 600 plus vocals, because we do have the duplicated process versions. But just the dry versions alone, over 300 unique vocals. You see how long this just goes on for, right? If you need high quality, unique vocals, this is the pack. Shout out to Tiana Land. She has an amazing voice. We actually just dropped one of our first songs together called Prize. I'll have a link to that in the description, and you could check that one out on all streaming platforms. The Late Nights vocal sample pack, man, I'm telling you, this one is crazy. Link to the full version and a free demo version down in the description. That's all I got for this one. Till the next video, peace.